Yo, what's up, everybody? Blue. I was thinking, man, out of all the nationalities on the planet Earth, don't nobody give their man more trouble than a black woman. And then, that's why when these athletes make money, what do? First thing they do is they get somebody different, somebody out of their race. Because a black woman is hard as hell to deal with. And the reason being is because white people, or the powers that be, knew that if you put the woman in charge, it would really lead to a vicious cycle that repeats itself. Like I said in my poem, boys make babies then run. Women claim all men are dogs, but they are the ones who raise them. And the cycle is irreversible. Black people get worse every fucking year. Every year we get worse. And you can't say shit to the black woman because she's got the law in her favor. And today I got into it with somebody on Facebook saying that you cannot be born a homosexual. It is learned behavior because your brain is not a leader. It is a follower. It adheres to your ego explicitly. So if you tell yourself you a punk, you will be a punk. If you tell yourself you are gay, you will be gay. And your body falls in line to adhere to what your brain is saying. It's just like if you tell yourself you're going to have a bad day, then at the end of the day, it makes you feel good out of human arrogance that you had a bad day. So you can say to yourself, I knew that I was going to have a bad day. It's real simple. Like I said before, children, everything children do is learned behavior. They watch their parents in the house. They watch their mother intermingle with other men. They watch men walking in and out of her life. They watch men dog her. They watch her crying at night. They watch her upset because Tom said he was going to come by and didn't. So she takes it out on the kids and she beats them. That's why parents are so adamant about beating their children. But the only reason they beat their children is because they are dealing with their own issues. Something has got to stop, but it's irreversible, and I don't think it's going to change. If women was doing so good of raising babies by themselves, you wouldn't have... In fact, like most of the black men in jail come from single-parent homes. They come from single-parent homes and broken homes. And everybody think their son going to be a basketball player or a football player, which is bullshit. And like I said, man, shit is learned behavior. You learn that. It's just like if you was raised around wolves, you're going to act like a wolf. If you was raised around... And that's another thing. People's always trying to say, well, I said no animals in the animal kingdom take on a gay personality. And everybody debated with me and told me that monkeys do it. But monkeys do a lot of things. Monkeys lick their ass. Monkeys kill each other. Monkeys are uncivilized. They live in trees. They don't take baths. Most of them don't. Some of them do. But, I mean, that's what you want to be. You want to be a monkey? Like in the Netherlands, that's where they show links of humans related to, what they call primates. So, I mean, and that's what Europe stands for. Because in Europe means you means to be roped down into that environment. It means to be uncivilized. And we know the Netherlands were living in caves, eating raw meat, walking around naked, and having lucrative sex with animals. Which people want to do today. And that's another thing. If gay is normal, how come necrophilia is not normal? How come bestiality is not normal? How come pedophiles is not normal? The shit is not normal. It is not right. And I'm going to lose a lot of friends over this. But like I said, black women always jump to homosexuals' defense. And everything and people always say, well, what people do behind their closed doors is their business. And that's true. It's very true. But the way society is, everything is endorsed now. The gay lifestyle is promoted on buses, it's promoted in the trains, it's promoted on TV. And that's another thing about TV. It indoctrinates and brainwash women. That's why before, when soap operas was popular, that's all they used to do was sit home, get fat and out of shape, and watch the fucking soap operas and want to be like Brooke and Erica. But Brooke and Erica was a fantasy from all my children. Y'all ain't think I knew that. Yeah, but the shit is not real. Fucking Erica and Brooke live in a mansion, but fucking fat-ass mothers live in the housing projects. And they want somebody to carry them over the threshold of the front door when they get married, but they're too fat to carry over the front door. And that's the thing. People always talk about when you're on welfare, that we don't have a good choice of food. That's bullshit. bullshit. You could go to Whole Food and get top quality food, top of the line food, sushi, salmon, all of that, raw vegetables, organic vegetables. So people need to stop that bullshit and stop, like I said in my poem, children get cookies and fucking Kool-Aid or quarter water for breakfast in the morning, and then the parents wonder why they so sleepy first thing in the morning. There's no regulation in the home. The fucking children stay up all night in the summer. Their body is not on the clock. This is why they oversleep in the morning and can't sit still in the class, or they too sleepy and can't learn. And that's another thing about like the school system. The school system is designed for the children to, like they would say, go to school, get a good education, and get a good job. It doesn't teach you to make a job. It teaches you to be a slave, working for minimum wage, knowing how much you're going to get every month. And people always, like, the reason I said this because women always talk about, well, my son went to college. What we do, everybody should go to college. That's nothing big. It's an exception to the rule when you living in the hood and you got to step over dog shit every morning and living in the projects, and you got to put up with your neighbor's noise and shit like that. Yeah, that's a big deal. But then they grow up to get good jobs, and everybody wants city jobs. But when you get a city job, you stuck in the fucking city. And people want to commute from here to the Poconos and shit every day. But that shit gets hectic. Everything is designed in the hood to keep black people fucked up, and they put women is put in the forefront to keep us more fucked up than ever. And the minute you put your foot down, they tell you bitter or you mean. But I'm not bitter, I'm mean. And I'm not bitter and I'm not mean. I'm brutally honest, and people don't like my honesty. But if you don't like my honesty, then don't fucking ask me. It's real simple. That's why I don't believe in getting on my knees and eating a bitch pussy and all that other shit. Like that shit is whack, man. Like I tell girls, if you was my wife, I might. But if being you just friends, I don't know who you fucking before me. I don't know who you done jumped off with. You could have got fucked at work or some shit and didn't wash your pussy and then come home and expect me to get on my knees and eat your pussy. No, fuck you. Like I said before, you should jump in the garbage and let the maggots eat your pussy if you want somebody to eat your pussy. And no, I'm not gay. I'm not homo. I'm a straight up man, and people don't like fucking men. The whole system is designed to keep black men fucked up with this metrosexual shit. And that's why you always see black women on TV, but you rarely see you always see black women on TV, but you rarely see black men in positive roles. Or on the news, you always see like Gayle King with the ugly fucking wig on her head. That's another thing with black women, wear these ugly fucking wigs and weaves and shit, and all that fucking foundation and shit. And the black man is not on. He gotta act like a bitch. If you're on TV, he can't be a man because society is afraid of strong black men. They know a single mother is gonna raise her child to be confused, doubtful, and emotional. That's when you don't know if you're coming or going. You wound up being confused and iffy. You can't stick to your guns and make decisions. That's why when somebody asks you, are you going to be here? You be like, I don't know. Call me and see. All you got to do is say yes or no. It's real simple. Life is real simple, but humans create the obstacles. And everything, like I said, is designed to keep people in the hood fucked up. That's why you got liquor stores in all the corners. That's why you got churches on all the corners. And the churches got some of the biggest whores in the world. See, the church gives them a reset button because they can fuck Tom, Dick, and Harry, go to church, then pray and make it all better again, and then they be right back at the shit again. That's why I always said grandmas was whores. They be having 12 and 13 kids by 12 and 13 men, and so it could be sharecroppers and shit like that, but they was fucking some of everybody, Tom, Dick, and Harry. And that's why one kid got straight hair, one kid got kinky hair, and one kid got curly hair. One is light skinned, one is dark skinned, and one is jet black. How the fuck did that happen? That's because black women and women in general just do shit based on how it makes them feel. They don't deal with reality. They deal with shit that makes them feel good. They're feel-good people. That's all it is. They do shit on how it makes them feel with their emotions. That's why when a guy's raised up in a single-parent home, his mother said, if somebody bothers you, pick up something and knock the shit out of them. Because women are not fighters by nature. They are fighters by circumstances. And that's why guys pick up shit the first thing around to fight with instead of fighting with their hands. And sometimes it's a gun or a knife or some shit like that. We can't talk it out and work it out. We always got to fight. And this is what's endorsed in the hood. This is why black on black crime is so prevalent in the hood. This is why we don't like to stare at each other. You catch somebody looking at me, you ask them, what the fuck you looking at? This is why. People from the hood don't go downtown with that mentality. They don't go downtown pushing and shoving and all that other shit and starting shit. They do that shit in the hood because guys want to be the toughest guy on the block. But after that, he does not own anything. That's why crack came into the neighborhood and fucked black people up. And now Harlem is being gentrified. Harlem, you can see from one block to the next because shit was abandoned buildings. And when drugs was real popular, dudes was making top dollar. They was buying motorcycles off the lot, crashing them shits and leaving them. We never thought about owning anything. And now Harlem is being gentrified. And what happened was when guys got caught, they would get locked up. And if you get caught selling drugs, your whole family had to get kicked out of the projects or wherever you was living. And then once they would get the family locked up and get crackheads strung out on drugs and shit, then they renovated the buildings, and then Europeans and Caucasians started moving to Harlem. And that's how it worked. That's why drugs were so popular. It happened with the Native Americans, with the liquor and shit. It happened us with the heroin. And then crack came into the neighborhood, and crack fucked black people up. It fucked the black neighborhood up. It's just real fucked up right now. The shit is irreversible. We're not getting any better. The shit is getting worse, especially with this gay, with this all like single woman proud to be single and shit. That's because they don't want no order, and they don't want nobody to tell them what to do, and then they can raise their kids fucked up, and then having a boy with braids in his hair and shit and 2 earrings. What's that about? I said before, like I said, you could do that shit when you get older because that's your choice. But when you're young and your body's not developed, you look like a little girl. And then you calling him Pookie and shit like that. As soon as he fall, you jump on the ground and pick him up and dust him off and shit. And he don't know how to be a man and tough and make decisions for himself. I told you, man. Black people be fucked up.